Hi guys, welcome to another Reacts. Today we're reacting to the dumbest Russian voyage nobody talks about. Starting now.
There are an abundance of iconic combinations out there, like spaghetti and meatballs.
Yes, I love me some spaghetti and meatballs. I love this combination. Like a couple meatballs, spaghetti, and a little bit of sauce. My mom actually makes the worst spaghetti my mom makes the worst spaghetti in the human history because she doesn't add any sauce. Like, bruh. She misses the point of, she even forgets the meatball needs to be round and she just throws in ground beef and calls it a day. And she doesn't add any sauce and calls it spaghetti. And I'm like, lady, this is not spaghetti. Yeah, this is what I'm used to, but I don't see it often. I have to order it myself or go to Olive Garden. Anyways.
Pretty girl in a white Jeep, or depression and alcoholism. But like US presidents and convertibles, not everything can be a match made in heaven. And as much
Okay.
as Mother Russia would love to dominate the high seas, nearly landlocked nations and stellar navies don't exactly go hand in hand. But for all the Russian Navy's dismal, underwhelming, pathetic lack of glory in the early 20th century, it's always important to look on the bright side.
Yes, always look on the bright side. Whether you are going through some really rough stuff or, just trying your best, always look on the bright side. Because it is good for you and you'll be happier and better. Always look on the bright side.
Like how it gives me good YouTube content. So on today's episode, I'm going to learn you all about the misadventures of the Russian Baltic Fleet.
Oh, this is a history lesson. I like that. I actually don't know much about... I mean, I do. I was really good at history back when I was a kid. So I know a little bit, but not too much. Nowadays, not really that much. I'm Blue Jay. Russia's kind of cool, right? That was a trick question. What? Why is Russia not cool? Why isn't every country cool? Bruh.
Turn of the 20th century, and what better way to kick off a new era than expansion? Russia is...
Yes, a lot of the past was about expanding your base, your territory. It was a lot about expanding territory and having a lot of space for yourself and making borders on silly little maps.
Which is great for things like stopping Nazis and badass TikToks, but not ideal for ports. Having your port turn to ice every winter is what those of us more versed in nautical terms would call not very cash money. The Russian
not very cash money. Yeah.
Empire notices China has a pretty nifty port with, get this, warm water. However,
warm water? A port with just warm water? Interesting.
However, there's this pesky little thing called a border in the way.
Yes, that was what I was talking about. A border. We all expanded our lands and added a little silly border to make a country of some sort.
That's okay. China isn't European. It's not a real country.
Wait, what? What?
So Russia takes control and gets the Qing to lease in the port. Japan doesn't like what...
Wait, what? China's port is owned by Russia? What? Hey, Japan's included.
They see. So they meet with Russia and are all like, hey, vodka boy, invading China is our thing. But Russia won't share, leaving diplomacy dead in the water. But that's okay. The new DLC just dropped and everyone's just itching to try out their new toys. So the
new DLC? An upgrade of weapons and mercenaries? That's crazy.
Japanese attack Port Arthur, kicking off the Russo-Japanese War. Fast forward a few battles, and the Russians are losing pretty badly. So the Tsar offers quite the preposterous proposal of sending the Russian Baltic Fleet to reinforce...
Look at how badass that is. Look, they don't make ships like this anymore. I feel like you never see a battleship these days. It's really cool. The structure of it, pretty awesome. It's very atypical.
Force the east. And you may be wondering, but Blue Jay, what's so preposterous about sending reinforcements? Well, kiddo, the Baltic part of Russian Baltic Fleet means it operates.
Every time he says Baltic, I just think of balsamic vinegar. That's not the right. I think of balsamic vinegar. That has no association to it. Baltic. Don't touch American boats. Why not? What's wrong with touching American boats?
And get this, the Baltic. And as we learned earlier,
Okay, so there's a Baltic Sea, and we're trying to invade it or to capture it. I'm trying to understand this Russian history. I don't know it quite well.
boats don't like ice, so you can't go this way to Port Arthur, meaning
Yeah, you can't go that way.
Tsar authorized a plan for an 18,000-mile journey around the world.
Huh? Brother, you're gonna zigzag all the way like this? Brother, to get to here? I can't even show you guys the video. Hold on. Silly me. Like look where the line is. What? Brother, please. Brother, please. You're not taking the long way, are you? Are you being serious? Are you being serious right now? That's ridiculous. That's funny too.
World, which is 29,000 kilometers, or 1,140,480,000 gumballs.
What? Hold on. How many gumballs was that? I understand gumballs, but not kilometers.
29,000 kilometers, or 1,140,480,000 gumballs.
Oh my god, that's a lot.
A logistical nightmare, as the Russians didn't have any holdings in Africa or South Asia to refuel along the way.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're going the long way to go to this little gulf? That's silly.
That's the fact that the fleet spent months at a time frozen in port, so the crew of mostly uneducated peasants couldn't tell you the difference between a bowline knot and a porcelain pot. This group of inexperienced conscripts is put under the command of Admiral Rozhetsvensky, a man so prone to anger that his staff made sure to keep a large supply of binoculars at the ready due to how often he would throw them overboard.
Silly guy, he's throwing tantrums over little binoculars. Brother, don't throw away your binoculars, please. Silly man.
But hey, fuck it. What better way to learn than a trial by fire, right? So they set sail on their epic quest to turn the tide of the war and bring glory to the motherland.
Oh, so I guess, okay, so here's what I'm getting so far. China and Japan are fighting. My phone. China and Japan are fighting. And Russia's like, we're gonna butt in and help, I guess, for the Great War of some sort. Of some sort. I don't know if I'm getting this history quite exactly right.
And immediately the flagship runs aground and a cruiser loses its anchor. While they waited for the flagship to refloat, a destroyer forgot friendly fire was on and rammed into a battleship.
Oh my gosh. That's exactly what happened. It exploded like that.
To return for repairs. Don't worry, men. Surely this can't be foreshadowing. As the fleet pushed on, a growing hysteria spread amongst the crew.
Oh no, not hysteria. You know what would solve this hysteria? Oranges. I heard a lot of... Back in the day, they had a lot of... What? That solves scurvy. I'm silly. Oranges solve scurvy. And they don't have fruit on the ship. My bad. But, I don't know what would... I guess modern medication would solve hysteria, but... I don't know. I know how to solve scurvy.
Any second, they'd be ambushed by Japanese torpedo boats.
Torpedo boats?
Denmark. This is where the war is, if you forgot.
Huh? What?
Denmark. This is the crew. They were afraid that at any second, they'd be ambushed by Japanese torpedo boats. By Denmark.
Wait, so they're going the long way and they're afraid that the Japanese torpedo boats would ambush them in fucking in Denmark? Brother, That's not even close to where you're at. That's not even close. You're in. Okay. You do you.
This is where the war is, if you forgot.
Yeah, the war. Okay, look at where the war is, by the way. Let me go to. Okay, let me zoom out for you guys. The war is right here, guys. The war is right here, where the bird is. And by the way, Denmark is far away. Denmark is in the middle. Oh God, this is so funny. I'm sorry. History, man.
This is where the war is, if you forgot. But the crewmen didn't have time to worry about things as frivolous as logic. So when two fishermen approached the fleet to deliver a message, they opened fire.
Bro, the messenger, no! Not the messenger.
Two fishermen survived the false alarm without a scratch thanks to the horrible standards of the Russian gunnery. As for them...
Oh my God, you're telling me the gunners are bad? How are they gonna fight in a real battle against the Japanese torpedo ships? That's a little silly.
Message, they informed Rear Admiral Rozhitsvensky that he had been promoted to Vice Admiral. Iron this. This wouldn't be the only false alarm, as later another ship signaled that she was under attack by 8 Japanese torpedo boats, only to find out that there were 0 Japanese
0
torpedo boats.
Is this real history or his story or just a story? I don't know. I'm just watching this video. This is Blue Jay. You'll have to fact check him because I don't know exactly if this is real history or not. But it's pretty entertaining. I'll give you that.
There's just nothing there.
History, more like hysteria. They're literally in fucking Denmark and they're like, oh my God, the Japanese are about to attack us. Like, where? Bitch, where? Where exactly is Japanese ship gonna attack you while you're in Denmark? You're in Denmark, bro. Like, imagine your team is on site B. You have to go to site B, but you're all the way in site C. Like, you're like, what the fuck?
Having survived the Baltic, our heroes made their way towards Britain, where they encountered a small group of fishing trawlers at Dogger Bank. But surely by now our skittish sailors have learned their lesson. Ninjas, streliete bullshit! Chaos ensued as the Russians laid down.
They even fought British boats, bro. That's not the enemy, dude. Wrong target.
Down hellfire upon the unsuspecting fishermen. The Russians are going bonkers. Some run around the deck aimlessly waving cutlasses to repel imaginary boarding parties. While
they are really going through hysteria here. I feel so bad. I feel really bad for the pirates on board because they were peasants. Like, they were slaves. They don't know any better, and they're pretty sick when you're on sea for that long.
Others just cuddle up on the deck with life jackets, accepting their demise. Keep it up, men. These Japanese have horrendous aim, Igor. We haven't even taken a hit. But hey, at least this time we made sure they weren't fishermen first.
They were fucking fishermen. The people they're attacking right now is fishermen, and poor fishermen, like, all they want to do is make some bread and get back some fish, right? That's just sad.
We're shooting at fishermen, aren't we? Definitely a possibility, sir. Well, at least we didn't fire on our own ships, killing a sailor and Russian Orthodox priest. The British trawler fleet were sitting ducks as their nets in the water prevented a hasty escape, and the Russians fired at them for 20 minutes before realizing their mistake. While this sounds like a setup for a massacre, you forget our heroes are about as effective as a guy holding a fish on Tinder, sinking only 1 trawler and damaging 2 of their own ships. The battleship Oriole really captured the spirit of a TikTok pickup artist, reportedly shooting 500 shots without scoring a single hit. 2 fishermen...
500 shots? That's ridiculous. That's a lot. What the fuck?
and 2 Russians died in the mayhem, so at least the survivors can brag at the local pub that they tied with the Russian Navy. This event became known as the Dogger Bank Incident and nearly ignited a war between Russia and Britain. The Brits just settled for revoking their access to the Suez Canal, forcing the Russians.
What? They revoked access? They revoked access to the canal? Well, yeah, they are kind of silly. They are kind of silly for that. Weebus, thank you for the 7 months.
Russians to make a slight tweak in their course.
Oh, hell. They're going all the way around Africa, aren't they? I'm done. These guys are ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You're going all the way around now? Oh my goodness.
Slow coal-powered fleet made its way towards Africa, attacking more civilians and cutting underwater telegraph cables along the way.
No, not the telegraph cables. Oh my god. Silly guys on silly boats. Silly guys on silly boats.
With some German supply ships to refuel due to the aforementioned lack of African holdings to make port. What nice friends, those Germans. I'm sure their relationship will last. Africa's pretty big.
And then World War I and World War II happened.
Almost as big as my self-loathing. So they took on double loads of coal and kept giant piles of the stuff just sitting on deck. Definitely the kind of thing that made you an EPA audit. But it's not like any sailors were going to die from black lung, except for the ones who did. Morale is low.
Yeah, having a shit ton of coal on deck and breathing that shit, kind of not a good idea.
So the Russian crew decides to lift their spirits by treating themselves to the exotic pets of Madagascar. Alright, men.
That's funny.
You all can... Hey, Igor, stop sniffing glue for a sec, buddy. You all can go to shore and pick out one thing to bring back with you. Nothing too crazy, like snakes or crocodiles. Motherfucker.
They brought back snakes and crocodiles on board, I mean. Bruh. What are you gonna do with snakes and crocs, huh? What exactly do you plan to do with that? What exactly do you plan to do with the animals? You're just silly.
What did I say? Sir, I can explain. Watch it throw back the shot at Tito's. The ship
That's funny.
A floating zoo as the crew brought on a bunch of animals to roam the deck freely, including a crocodile and a venomous snake, which apparently took a liking for vodka. Panic followed.
Wait, they like vodka? Oh my god. Imagine you have a pet snake and it loves vodka. That's where they're getting at.
Shortly, when the snake wrapped itself around guns and bit a commanding officer. One
Oh no, that's not good.
sailor gifted the admiral a parrot, which soon took after his rather extensive vocabulary of Russian curses.
Wait, they got a parrot on boat? How do you prevent it from flying away? Like, I guess they are indoors, right? That's silly.
The flagship soon became overrun with chameleons who would frequently go missing due to their ability to seamlessly camouflage. Hey Igor, have you seen...
They even brought chameleons? What? What are you doing here? You're having a little animal party on boat at that point. That's funny.
Comrade Camo? I can't find the little guy anywhere. No, I don't think so. Have you seen him private? Yeah, I don't think he's seen him either. But a good zoo isn't complete without an underwater exhibit. And luckily for them, the cooling plant on their refrigeration ship broke down, forcing them to dump all their meat into the ocean and giving
No! Oh my god. That's not good.
them a nice following of sharks. At one point, the fleet was holding one of many funerals for a sailor who died of illness. During the ceremony, the Kamchatka fired a gun salute. Excellent work, gentlemen. Hey, say, you boys did make sure to load blanks, right? Yes, sir. Yeah. Igor, you're looking kind of pale there, buddy. After some more shenanigans, like
That's funny.
foiling a mutiny and receiving a shipment of fur boots and coats instead of ammo, Admiral Rozhetsvensky realized that they were approaching Japan. Ah, shit, that's right, I didn't train them. So he decided to...
Oh no, he didn't train them. That's not good.
some gunnery practice on a stationary target. Miraculously, our group of misfits managed to score a single hit on the ship towing the target. Bye, hey.
Bruh, please. Silly Russians.
Potato, potato. At long last, the Baltic fleet closes in on Japan, approaching the Tsushima Strait during the night. The fleet extinguishes their lights to maintain stealth, all except for the Orel, which, as a hospital ship, kept them burning in accordance with the rules of war. The Orel comes upon a Japanese ship in the dark. And finally, after an extensive list of false alarms attacking fishermen and merchants alike across half of the high seas, they come across an actual Japanese vessel.
Oh my god. Now they find the real boss. Now they're finally reaching point B from point C.
And determine it to be Russian. So they use
Oh my god. They fell for it. They thought it was a Russian boat. It's not. No.
lights to communicate with it.
Oh my god. You're literally giving it away. You're giving everything away.
The battle
Oh my god. I don't know what to say, you silly Russians.
ensues. Will our gallant sailors hold their own against the Japan? The Baltic fleet was decimated. 4,000
The Baltic Sea was decimated. Oh man.
Russians die, with an additional 7,300 taken prisoner, compared to roughly 100 Japanese deaths. This effectively ended the war, marking the first time in history that an Eastern power defeated a European one. Way to go.
That's crazy. Congrats to the Japanese.
Buddy, let's add that one to the scoreboard. Oh.
Never mind. European aggression and victories. That is a huge list. That is a huge list. Compared to Eastern victories. Man. 1 point for Japan. Am I right?
Oh dear. So, in conclusion, the Russian Baltic fleet's odyssey around the world is a tale full of shenanigans and blunders, with our troublemaking peasant crew racking up quite the body count of innocent civilians and friendlies before—
I can't believe they lost 5,000 people versus 100 people. That's just silly. That is straight silly. That's crazy.
seeing an actual enemy. And yes, while they may have attacked ships from practically every global power, disabled cities' communication grids, killed fellow sailors with gross negligence of safety practices, nearly ignited a major European war, and were about as accurate as Helen Keller playing laser tag, they also—
they were really blind. Like, they would attack fishermen. Like, of all people, they're the wrong enemies. And you're in freaking Denmark, too. Like, that's just funny.
taught a snake to drink vodka. 9 out of 10 stars.
And that's it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe. Bye.